Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the regular board meeting of Dundee Township, July 15, isn't it?
July 15th.
Okay. I call this meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day.
Here.
Trustee Drake.
Here.
Trustee Drickford.
Here.
Trustee Harney.
Here.
Supervisor Shaw.
Here. I ask that you all rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is public comments. This portion of the meeting where anybody can in the audience who wishes to address the board may do so. Please take 3 minutes. If there is anybody who would like to address the board at this time. Madam Clerk, do we have?
Madam Supervisor.
Actually,
Oh.
I would wait until
Oh,
she comes up, if she can
Okay,
request it,
sorry.
and then,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
we don't wanna
Amber
s-
Cotter.
Okay, now, here she's up.
I would wait till the time is up, and then do it, yeah. Just start. Yeah.
I'm Amanda Hatter. Thank you for hearing me tonight. To my understanding, to no fault of the township, we are an area of a treatment oasis. What I mean by this is that there is no higher level of treatment available in our township. This is awfully in my face, and I can speak loud enough. Okay? We do have numerous outpatient providers in our area, but none in Dundee Township that take Medicaid, differences in Medicaid, or straight Medicare. Okay? So going over the treatment oasis that we currently have. One, there is no virtual PHP or IOP in the state of Illinois. That was double checked by Suzanne Metz. Okay? PHP is partial hospitalization where somebody goes there for the day for treatment regarding mental health, or IOP, which is intensive outpatient, where they go there 5 hours a day up to 3 days a week. There is no virtual program, no program that accepts Medicaid. Regarding PHP programs that accept Medicaid, differences in Medicare and private insurance, the closest that you can get to is Streamwood. After that, it's Linden Oaks, Recovery Center of America, which only accepts private insurance, or Ascension and Hoffman Estates, which again, on the border of our county to what I understand, and they only take certain Medicaid for certain ages and private insurance. We do not have a TLP program in the state of Illinois that does not have a 2-year wait. TLP is transitional living placement. This is individuals who have chronic health concerns that are lifelong. They have been deemed by the state of Illinois and or federal government as being disabled because of their mental health problems and need round-the-clock care. Again, there is no program in the state of Illinois that has less than a 2-year wait. Because these are a 2-year program that provides housing, temporary housing up to 2 years with mental health programming, it's also primarily funded by the state. While they do accept Medicaid, they're considered unfunded beds because Medicaid won't reimburse, so whatever organization takes that money is at an extreme loss. There's currently 3 in our county, but none in our township. Lazarus House, which is in St. Charles, Shelter Youth Family, which only takes 17 to 21, and 360 Youth, which serves 2 counties, Kane and DuPage, which only serves 18 to 24. Again, we're in a treatment oasis. Inpatient, which is anywhere between 3 and 10 days, depending on insurance coverage, as well as medical necessity. The closest inpatient facility is in Elgin. They take Medicaids, Medicares, and private insurance. Northwestern, which has just downsized their inpatient units, only takes Medicaid and some Medicare plans and will not take anybody who has high acuity needs. Ascension.
I would like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and allow Ms. Cotter to speak further.
Second.
Melissa seconds? Okay.
No, Charity.
Oh, Charity,
Charity.
okay.
Get a roll call.
Madam Clerk, please get a roll call.
Trustee Day.
Yes.
Trustee Drake.
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer.
Yes.
Trustee Harney.
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw.
No, because we have not made those exceptions for others, but, yeah.
We have.
Who do I get to continue?
You do.
Beautiful. Ascension Center of Mental Health takes straight Medicaid, Medicare, and private insurance. However, speaking from a personal experience, Ascension is treatment behavioral, typically discharges within 3 days. There is no substance abuse facility that's inpatient within our county that takes Medicaid insurance without some kind of fee waiver. But to the fault of the township and inability to run the mental health board, we are increasing this deficit of this treatment oasis. To those who have to wait for outpatient services, typically seen once a week, up and possibly 3 times a week, depending on level of care, whether for mental health or substance abuse, they have to further decompensate as awards have not been funded to programs that have applied and received those grants. Further decompensation means more impact, more time away from families, more resources needed in order to go back to stabilization. We are driving away our community. Unable to find, sorry, my chicken scratch. While the funding will not give a higher level of care, to my understanding, based on the grants that have been awarded, we are taking away funding regarding preventative services, outpatient services, as well as substance abuse services. Why this is important to me. As some of you all know, or some of you may know, my father lost his battle to mental health this past September. While I've been the one who's been dealing with the state, I found out that he was on 17 different wait lists. 17, because he had straight Medicaid. Now, calling some of these places and saying, like, okay, what's going on here? Why was there a holdup? Some of it was because he was listed as homeless. That's fine. Some of it was also because Ecker Center, Mathers Clinic, and Mathers Center and Ecker's Clinic have at least a 2-month wait list for an individual therapist. If you want to see a psychiatrist in order for a Medicaid provider, you have to see a therapist first, which means it's a 7-month wait list. We are driving away our community. We need to figure out a plan for this mental health board. I don't want another client to come to my office and say they have lost a loved one, or they're about to lose a loved one, or they themselves are having suicidal thoughts. And we have to look to another township or another community to give them help. Thank you.
Jared Sanchez?
Thank you, Madam Supervisor and Trustees. Jared Sanchez, East Dundee. It's been a long time. We've been having this conversation and been through a lot of different things, ups and downs. But I think everybody at the table here tonight wants the same thing, get the mental health board back and running again. I hope that tonight you guys just don't accept, not seating at least a couple, 1 or 2 people tonight. I know there's at least one person that's a little controversial as far as some of the trustees feel, but if that's still somebody who's up for consideration, maybe you guys can take that off for tonight, vote on the other 2 that everybody can agree on, and come back to that conversation next month. I think we're in a really good position right now where it's not too far into the year that once the board gets running, money can't get out the door. We've got a lot of big ones like Ecker Center and FSA and things that they can go back to January 1st retroactively. They'll be able to cover a lot of programming for our residents. Some of the other ones will be able to start some of the programming this year actually. So there's a good chance you could still spend about 60% of the money that was intended by the taxpayers to go out to our community to help people that need it. So please make it happen tonight. Then the mental health board meets tomorrow night and they can get rolling, and you guys got a lot of other stuff that you want to do, so we can talk about that. I don't have anything to say with that. Thank you.
Andre Steves?
Hi, this came about suddenly because I just recently spoke to the supervisor, Andres Diaz, the CEO of Food for Greater Elgin. We're by far the largest pantry in all of Will County, and we are in the midst of planning for our capital drive. We currently serve about 150,000 to 160,000 duplicated individuals on an annual basis. That means that when Sue or Henry comes 4 times, we count you 4 times, not just once, because you're a unique individual. Our plan, and I sent an email to the supervisor, so I hope you have a one-pager that has a visual drawing as well as what basically I'm talking about as well. So
We've got nothing from the supervisor.
Yeah, we have
Okay,
nothing.
so-
Yeah, she gave us nothing.
I will, and again, this was very much at the last minute. She and I spoke literally 3 hours ago. So because of that, we plan to expand our current facility. We currently receive about 1,000 physical people per week. Again, on an annual basis, it's about 160,000 people. We also deliver 1,500 boxes of food. I'm here because approximately 10 to 15% of the 150,000 times we serve people are from your township. The primary overwhelming percentage is from the Elgin Township. We currently work with D300. We deliver boxes to Carpentersville, to Lakewood, to Harry Jacobs High School, on sometimes a weekly basis, sometimes every other week. We have already seen a big increase in SNAP. We foresee the Medicaid expenses that are going to happen later this calendar year. So we also have a partnership with Boys Girls Club, and you're familiar with the New Woodlands area. We, in our signed MOU with them, we're going to store their food because they don't have the refrigerated trucks we have because of our scale and size. So we're going to store food for them as they move into the new facility for free. They will buy the food, but we will store it. So once again, you are 10 to 15% of our roughly 150 to 160,000 times we serve individuals on an annual basis, and we ask for your help for our capital funds. We project the expense to be about $600,000. We're currently at just about $500,000, and any additional financial support would be great because once again, 10 to 15% of the neighbors we serve are from this township. And I should have approximately 22 seconds left. Any questions, or that's not how it works? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
It's probably more important than line dancing.
No.
Okay, so we will close that portion of the meeting. We will now move to presentations. We first have Ms. Cagle. Thank you for being with us this evening. The floor is yours.
Good evening. We belong to Post 2298 out of West Dundee. And for the last 20 plus years, we're the ones that put the flags on the graves for the veterans over Memorial Day. And we've noticed that some of the headstones, they're not marked military. And we as a group would like to honor our military and our first responders with some kind of marking. Now, I know that that's all, everybody owns their own property. So you guys have to tell us what we can do. This is what we were thinking of. This way we don't touch the headstone. It's metal and it'll be good for Eric when they cut grass and everything. And it goes into the ground, and then up here it has a little opening, that's where the flags will go. But there's between 600 and 700 unmarked graves that says that they're military. So it would probably be a year plus project, because like anything else, everything's about money. And we'd have to raise between $12,000 and $14,000 to do this. But we can't do nothing until we tell us if it's legal. That's all I got. And this is what it'll look like when they put it next to that. So it's not touching anything. Because I know that they use little medallion kind of things. But we didn't want to do that because we don't want to touch somebody else's property.
It's not football. We haven't done enough to what is the present tonight?
Can we give her some kind of an
Is that
answer?
all?
It's just for presentation tonight. We'll put
Okay.
it on for action if the board wants to move forward.
Okay,
I can say that louder.
yeah.
So So if you're looking for direction and the trustee's looking at me for direction, is this? No. So this is just listed for a presentation tonight, so I think the idea was that the board would bring you in to present on this idea. They would put it up for action at a subsequent meeting. So I think I have talked to the administrator about it. I know that you've talked to the administrator about it as well, and we do have a legal opinion on there, and I think it would be permissible for it to happen. So it's just a matter of procedure, and there's some other considerations, but we can discuss those when it comes up for business. So no action tonight, sorry.
So if you do it as new business next time.
We can, yeah. I would encourage you.
Our final presentation is from Mr. Tom Foley of First Community Church of Dundee. Mr. Foley, the floor is yours, sir.
Good evening and thank you. First Congregational Church of Dundee has had the privilege of operating tree planting, flower planting, and hay rides at Jelke Creek now for some time, about 15 years. We have submitted an application to please allow us to do it again, a hay ride, October 3rd on a Saturday. And all the documentation is contained there. And in prior years, we generally did a trade-off of planting a tree and operating the hay ride for the preschool kids. Due to multiple circumstances, we won't be planting trees in proximity to the picnic pavilion very often, if there's even a good space for that. But we'd like to operate a hayride for the church congregation to see something so cool, so close to the church without a lot of travel involved and very little complication with Rainbow Zoo or anything. We do have one consideration request, and I will submit to Ms. Katie the e-version of this. The waiver form that is required of all the adults and all the children is a little frustrating because how do you get 4-year-old kids to sign a document like that? So what we'd like to do is go back to a waiver permission form that one page can serve up to 30 people as opposed to 120 pages serving 30 people. The current waiver form is 4 pages long and we have to keep track of them, and if it's a windy day, it's a disaster to get them all signed and collected and turned in. So we'd like to consider a 1-page waiver. And I fully acknowledge I am not legal, so this imitation language is an invitation for discussion. And if I can please offer these to you.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, requests, preferences, anything related to the hayride, currently in the game, been top flight in making sure we're ready and able at the right time to do this. What do you need? We want to help. Thank you.
You might want to just talk about your insurance and everything like that.
Okay. The church has a multi-million-dollar liability insurance. Me being the driver of the tow vehicle, I have a multi-million-dollar liability insurance umbrella plan. And we make clear that we don't do walk-ons from the public on hayride day. It's church members, church family, grandkids, neighbor kids maybe, but it's all church-centric. And we do not, and have occasionally in the past abruptly asked walk-ons to please not. We submit the insurance form from the church. That's been required in the past, and we did that again. No one's asked to see my personal umbrella on the assumption that the operator of the tow vehicle is the one who's first liability. At State Farm, I've had that policy for 20 years now, so. Anything else? Please. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, we will move on to the next item of the agenda. We will now have reports. Assessor?
Me? That's reading the packet. Good evening, everyone. Happy birthday, Gordon Clark. The assessor's office currently is working on complaints or appeals, primarily commercial as usual. Right now, there's 229 complaints filed. The appeal deadline was the 9th, just a few days or last week. So we have 229 now. 144 of those are commercial, which will require hearings on each one of those. Right now, they're only requiring 3 hearings on residential. The rest will be no show, but you do not need to attend. You just send in your evidence and we'll clear that. So we have our work cut out for us. My office, I have 3 desks full of files. We're not done yet. We're still getting complaints coming. So it's just kind of standard procedure this time of year. We start our hearings on August 17th, and hopefully we'll stop somewhere around September 3rd. So that'll be good just before Labor Day weekend. That's all I really have. Not a whole lot different. We're just busy with appeals. The phones weren't too bad during the 30-day window, but we did receive a lot of commercial interest towards the end, and they just followed the order. So that's my report. Any questions?
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do you have a report?
None at this time, thank you.
Okay. Trustees, do you have a report?
Well, that's some turn.
I got the 708 report. Do you want that now?
1 second. 708. Yeah, you can go.
Okay. Our board meeting is tomorrow night. At 7 o'clock, between 7 and 7:30, we will have an ad hoc working group meeting. The ad hoc committee consists of the 4 sitting members of the 708 board, and 3 of us would be a quorum. So we hope to be able to discuss a few things. To be perfectly clear, the ad hoc committee has no authority to pass anything or order any kind of anything. We can only discuss and advise. So that's what we'll be doing. The regular meeting will start at 7:30 and probably go to about 9:30, assuming that we have enough people to have a quorum. Agendas are posted. Today I got an email from NISRA. They're an administrator. His name is Jamie Weisman. He notified us that NISRA is suspending services for Dundee residents based on the 708 board not funding or approving the work plan or approving it. So now we are seeing even more the ramifications of not having a quorum for our 708 board and not being able to spend the money that we have. The tax receipts are coming in from this year's tax levy. We can expect to reimburse, I believe, substantial funds due to hoarding, which is what the state calls it when we accumulate a large amount of money and don't spend it. And this, of course, is based on our inability to approve the work plans, approve a budget, and to spend money that the grants have asked for. Again, we meet tomorrow night. Hopefully, we will have a new member or 2 or 3, perhaps, and or perhaps we would have Mr. Connell show up and create a quorum. But that is what we're doing. I did a legislative update. As most of you probably realize, the legislative fix that we tried to get through Springfield made it up to the last day of the session, where it got dropped from the bill in the Senate. Representative Ness worked very, very hard. I want to give her a huge shout out and kudos for doing what she tried to do. Things seem to be moving along quite well. And then in the Senate, the language that she had was stripped from the bill. And I don't know why or who or how that happened. But the hope of that bill was to, when we have an impasse such as we have on this board with appointments, that after 120 days, the ability to nominate would move to the entire board, and then the nominees would be approved based on a majority vote of the board. Again, I believe, I hope, that she will reintroduce this legislation or similar legislation next year, and perhaps we can find a Senate champion or sponsor to get it through the Senate. Short of that, we are going to just have to muddle along the best we can and hope that we can find some candidates to serve on the board, at least one. And that is my report. Thank you.
Okay, open space.
Thanks for having me. Good to see everybody. So open space over the last month. As I talked about last report, weed management is kind of the priority and the focus right now, and that just continues on through the growing season. Rains and heat has resulted in a kind of a robust growing season. Native plants and non-native plants. So we've been busy doing that. Some of the photos, the work doesn't change, but some of the target species kind of change as the growing season progresses. So the big thing right now is sweet clover. That was brought here as a forage crop for livestock, and that's what those three photos are. Kind of hard to see on the photos. Always looks more impressive when you're out in the field. But this is up at Raceway. This is about a 2 or 3 acre area that was recently cleared. And then recently burned well this spring. Burning can kind of can stimulate the germination of sweet clover, so it's a good way to reduce this weed seed, which can sit in the soil bank for decades. So got a good burn. So 2 to 3 acres. We can't really go in and do much hand maintenance on that. So we rely on brush mowing that with the Kubota tow behind brush mower. Because of its life cycle of this particular plant, we can interrupt its life cycle through mowing and then prevent it from going to seed. It's not 100%, but with this large of acreage infestation, it's pretty effective. So that's what these top left is before, all that kind of in the center picture is white flowering sweet clover. That's what it looks like after mowed on the right. And then below is kind of what it looks like during the mow. So it's sweet clover, 6, 7 feet tall, some of this stuff. Thousands of seeds on each plant. And then moving on, page 2. Again, just some of the more recent target species. So top, going from left to right, top to bottom, we have stilt grass, which is a woodland invader. Newer to the region, about 2012, 2013 was first documented in this area, and we got it. So we're trying to eradicate that. This is one of our target species. The next is our favorite, up in the top right, a lot of little purple flowers, hard to see again, is crown vetch. Again, brought here for erosion stabilization purposes for highways and things, and has just escaped into natural areas and is a menace. It's a hard one to get rid of. In the center, our favorite, the roundleaf bittersweet. Here in the middle of the prairie, so typically a woodland plant, but I see it thriving and stretching its fingers out into the prairies and then climbing on whatever it can. And then to the right of that, hard to see in there, but in the middle of that is a painted spotted knapweed. Sometimes hard to see these plants even in the field. Just another a perennial invader that's we have quite a bit of. And then the bottom one is just getting into yellow parsnip. Some of you are probably familiar with parsnip. That's the one that can be photoreaction if you get any of the plant, the moisture juices of the plant down here reacts with the sun. So that's one we get rid of for a number of reasons. Basil bark and cow repair in the center at Snuffy's Prairie. Something that can be done this time of year, just dripping herbicide around the stems of these things. And I just looked at these recently, and they're brown and dead. And then reed canary grass is another one that comes online this time of year. along with Phragmites and teasel, which we'll talk more about next month. And then on to the next page, going over, trying to manage dozens and dozens and dozens of weeds. Once in a while, areas grow up on us, so we have to come back and we can do a little conservation mow, and that's what this is at Dixie. This was an area that was full of brush, clover, thistle, half a dozen other bad species. So we mow them down before they flower. We come back with targeted herbicide, and that's kind of the process there. And then ending on some good news, continuing with our plants of concern monitoring. That's the rare plant monitoring program that we work with, that's administered by the Chicago Botanic Garden. And recently just monitored for short green milkweed. That's the one on the left. And a rare dry gravel hill plant. We had 79 plants this year, so that's down 5 plants from last year, but still a stable population. 51 of those were flowering. Over half of those were multiple stems, dual stems, both flowering, so that's good. And then while we were there, we saw on the right the Hills Thistle, another rare plant for our open space. It's actually in flower. It's not a common sight to see that thing in flower, so that's a kind of a good thing to see. And then some other real quick plant notes. Second year monitoring of the endangered black cohosh. This is a state endangered plant. Open space has one of the few populations known in Kane County, so kind of keep that on tight-lipped, but that's a good thing for us. And then also while out monitoring, we had somebody discover a new sedge. This is also an endangered sedge. I don't have pictures of this stuff, I apologize, but it is a new sedge discovered. It's called Carex enops, subspecies Heliophila. So make sure you write that one down. And that's really all I have. It's just continuing plant management, and we have some other monitoring coming up, and just continue to move forward as the growing season progresses. Any questions? That's all I have for report, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next up is cemetery.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Eric Salz, 19-year resident of the township and Dundee Township cemetery manager. For reporting, we've had 8 burials since our last monthly report. Total sales since the last meeting have been 29.2K. For something to report, a equipment donation being donated to Open Space, a 2009 Toro 60-inch commercial ride-on mower, model 24925 to Kirby. We had previously let them borrow it for use of on their properties, and then later discussed on as far as how they were getting along with it, and Dan reports that he loved that thing. So I'm glad to get some use as opposed to sitting over at West Side Cemetery. Bronze cemetery sign is set to be installed at the front entrance on the pillar, and design was approved and presented to the cemetery board. Reporting on the berm expansion project. Proposal for the new berm expansion project is approved. Engineering firm has been notified to begin surveying the property line, and the notification letters have been sent out to residents. An electric golf cart purchase. Cemetery approved the purchase and presentation for the purchase of a golf cart not to exceed more than $10,000. And we'll discuss further on the agenda as far as the options and requests that they submitted for those carts. Columbary decoration policy, actually, there was some clarification that we had on our decoration policy as far as what items were not allowed around the columbarium, including statues, crosses, plants, and hooks. Cemetery approved bases that we do offer and sell are approved and allowed, and we initiated the sale of a flower vase that can go in our Ikental niche covers, which you can see there on the image here. So it doesn't interfere with a neighboring niche. We've seen that sometimes people are putting the stems of a rose or a flower and kind of jamming it in between the crack of that. Now the proper placeholder for it is available for sale for $20. That is it for my report. Thank you.
Next up is GA.
Good evening, board members and residents. So, as a Civil Service Director of Dundee Township, today I am here to present the Dundee Township GA and EA reports. Reporting period is from June 17 to July 14. General assist. So, during the report time, the Human Service Department received 6 general assist applications. 1 is approved, 3 are currently in process, and 2 denied and redirected to the emergency assist. The applications redirected to emergency assist involves that they were more appropriately addressed through the township emergency assist programs based on the applicant's needs and eligibility requirements. Moving on to the EA, emergency assist. During this period of time, the Human Service Department received a total of 12 emergency assist applications, in which one was approved and 8 are currently in process and 3 are denied, and 2 applications exceeds to the income guidelines, and 1 applicant was withdrew their own application. So the Human Service Department continues to carefully review all the applications and work closely with the residents to determine and prove the appropriate support service. The department remains committed to ensuring the applications and proceed to fairly following the township program guidelines. Thank you.
All right, so for the supervisor's report, we had Open Space had a porta potty incident where the structure was destroyed. So we had to get a replacement. Unfortunately, the shipping charges from Georgia are $1,000 and the cost of the porta potty is $1,000. So we worked, thank you Kirby for hopping on the call. We worked with Pro Waste today, and I was able to restructure that arrangement and knock off the $1,000. So we're going to be back in good shape. But if that happens again, we're going to have to make a decision or go with someone else. But for right now, it's fixed. Twice. Yeah, twice already. It's the first time they waived the $1,000 fee. This time they didn't want to, but we were lucky. There's not going to be a third time. So we will.
How do we know that?
Well, I mean, 4th of July party. Was that 4th of July last time as well?
No, the last time was just random. This time, even the guy from the
Pro Waste.
High Service.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them in the area that were blown up this 4th of July.
No. He means the structure was destructed.
Yeah, I know. That's
Okay.
exactly that's what I thought.
Pretty good size.
Blowing up a porta potty. It's like, really?
Yeah, I know
That's the new thing.
Yeah.
So.
So we're okay for right now, but next one will be a problem. We need a solution for.
This morning, so everything's.
For now.
I think it'd be a trend about planting flowers.
So.
Well, that would be,
It's a
I'm
good
good with
question.
that. Blowing up a porta potty just doesn't strike me as a fun idea, but whatever.
Okay, then Kirby made history for Dundee Township with his crane post, and if you have not seen it, please scroll down on Dundee Township Facebook post. His crane post had a whopping 185 last time I checked. We have never had anything of that stature. And sadly, the poor green snake got no attention at all. So maybe you guys will give some love.
I give it a heart.
So yeah, that would be nice. Then for Memorial Day weekend, if anyone is going to be around next year, and if you remember this story, please do visit Miss Phyllis. She sits at Southern Bell on the right side, far end of the table. She'll be there at every Memorial Day. And she's this senior citizen who comes by. She lives with her her son and daughter-in-law in West Dundee. The nicest woman. I had met her last time, when we had just taken office. And she was alone. I felt bad, so I went and approached her. But she said, this is her routine. She's well taken care of. But she remembered. I'm always surprised when seniors remember things, or me, after 1 year. And I have trouble remembering sometimes why I came in the room. But, so yeah, please say hello to Miss Phyllis if you ever see her on a Saturday, or if you see any seniors sitting alone. It's always nice to say hello to them. Yeah, that's all I have. All right, we will close that portion of the meeting. The next item on the agenda is approval of meeting minutes for June 2026. Is there a motion?
I'll motion.
Second. Go ahead, Henry, you've got it.
The motion was made by trustee Day and seconded by trustee Harney. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Abstain.
Trustee Baxter?
Abstain.
Trustee Harden?
Yes.
And Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. Approval of treasurer's report. Mr. Coughlin, thank you for being here. The floor is yours, sir.
All right. Good evening, everyone. So we are 4 months into our fiscal year, beginning June. 33% this year. We use that as our benchmark here. We did see the first large installment of property taxes come in. So for property tax, we're sitting at about 1.7 million so far. Overall revenues just shy of 2 million in total. We're at 46% of the budget. We know obviously those property tax dollars push that revenue percentage higher than we are in the year. That's to be expected. That's what we've seen in the past. On the expense side, total expenses, 1.35 million. That's at 25% of the budget. It's about 8% lower than we'd expect to be. All of our big drivers, like salaries, that's trending fine. That's actually 3 points below where we'd expect to be, so right on track. Everything else looking okay. So currently sitting at a surplus here, $649,100, and an ending fund balance $6,304,303. Flip to the next page. Just Trustee Harney wanted me to add a graph here to show the expense distributions by department. So I've included that. Road and bridge there at 40%. We've got capital spend there at 4%. Supervisors, so that's at 25. Assessors at 12. Open space at 3. GA 2. Cemetery 13. Next page, 2 pages from there. Just to look at our bank accounts between Illinois Funds, First American Bank. Total book balance there, $6,415,729. Happy to take any questions.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, motion is made by trustee Harney and seconded by trustee Day. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixer?
Yes.
Trustee Harden?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion carries and the treasurer's report is hereby approved as presented. Mr. Coughlin, could you please present the bills?
For the period June 13th to July 10th, supervisor's bills were $28,906.44. The assessor was $3,851.01. No expenses for the clerk. Open space was at $2,320.81. GA $612.30. Cemetery $15,477.64. Road and bridge $16,902.33. And then no bills for red law.
All right, is there a motion to approve payment of payroll and bills for the road district, general assistance, mental health, we do not have, town fund as presented?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second? Who seconded it?
Drake.
Okay. All right, the motion is made by trustee Harney and seconded by trustee Drake. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. Okay, the motion carries and the payment of payroll and bills for road district GA town fund is approved as presented.
You want to table it? Who's in charge of this screen here? Katie. thank you. Go ahead. Just I think
Table
you want
it.
a motion to table and to explain why. Sorry.
Okay, I will make a motion to,
It's okay.
I'd like to make a motion to table the mental health board appointments because we have a new candidate that I would like, that was presented to me late, and I would like the board to have the opportunity to do the same. Her name is Tara McShane. She is from the mental health board at Hanover Township. She had been there for 1 year. She resides in Carpentersville now, and she would like to, I'll pass on, I have to request a resume and I'll pass it on to you guys and you guys can then vet her out.
If you would like to appoint her, I think we can move along with going ahead and doing the appointments.
But don't you guys want to look?
Maybe we could appoint, we have 3.
We could appoint 1 or 2 people tonight.
Yeah.
Leave that other one open.
And leave her open. Maybe that would be a better
Because we
thing.
need to get the mental health board back on its feet.
Yeah.
I'd like to get it back on its feet too.
We've been hearing about all the damage that's been done. And it's not just to its health, but it's to our reputation as well. And the ability to make people confident that we will uphold our promises in the future. So at the very least, we owe it to choose at least 1 person tonight.
At least.
You can, or if you want to present as a slate, which has been your position all along, I think, you can do that.
The presentation for the nomination is done in a slate format. So it would be Mr. Kemp, Schaefer, and Ms. McShane.
For the 4 years?
So it would,
No, there's 3 of them there.
there's 3 of them.
It's the same.
Oh.
It's the same, this is the same.
Issue.
Yeah, this is the same issue that we've had before.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first name.
So we
But
say
now
we
I
can't
got it.
just do 1.
So,
At a
well,
time.
we will go ahead and motion, right?
I believe there was the appointment, you made a motion to table, and then you
Yeah.
proposed a motion for those 3 appointees.
Yes.
So you would need a second.
Okay, so do we have a second?
Which motion are we talking about?
The slate.
The slate.
Yes,
Can you repeat
Mr.
the
Schaefer,
slate,
Kemp,
please?
and Ms. McShane.
Mr. Kemp, Mr. Schaefer, and Ms. McShane, is that what I'm
Yes.
hearing? Okay.
Second for discussion.
I will make the motion.
Oh, sorry.
I will make the
Motion
motion
for discussion.
for discussion, and Henry will second.
I think she made the
Sorry.
motion.
Okay.
Oh, she made the motion.
Yeah.
Okay, you can second.
Paper, scissors, rock, who's going to?
Yeah, okay, second, Henry's got the second,
Okay,
okay?
all right. Okay,
Discussion.
so the motion is made by me and seconded by trustee Fiximer. We can now discuss.
All right, I want to be clear on why I've been saying no to Mr. Kempf this entire time. I've been attending all but one of the mental health board meetings since before the election. And every time Mr. Kempf shows up, which is not all the time, maybe like a quarter of the time, he says no to everything, and he will stand there and he will say, I don't see the purpose of this board. Now, if we have somebody up there who doesn't see the purpose of the board, and he only says no, except for he'll say yes to adjourn, I don't see the benefit of having an obstructionist like that on the board when every answer is no and there's zero compromise with him. I fail to understand this insistence of including him when we have Mr. Schaefer and we've said yes to Mr. Schaefer.
Can you give 2 accounts of time where you actually knew on why he said no when you asked him?
He routinely votes no
He
against.
votes
I
no
understand
for
that.
everything.
I'm just asking for 2 instances on why,
Because he didn't
when
want
you
to spend
asked.
money. Every time. He didn't want to spend the money.
And you asked him that.
He said
He
it.
said
He
that
said
at the
it.
meeting.
He said it. He announced
On
it.
record.
On
He didn't want to
record.
spend the money, but why though?
Because he doesn't feel it's necessary.
Because he doesn't see the purpose of the board. He said that. He has said that more than one meeting.
He doesn't.
Multiple meetings.
How do you know he says it's?
Because he says it with his
No.
mouth and the words come out.
Can you let me finish?
Sure.
I appreciate it, thank you. So, when he says there is no purpose of this board, do you know if he's saying that to dissolve the mental health board, which is what I'm thinking you're going at? But if that's not the case, maybe he's just thinking that people are not asking enough questions. People are not getting enough clarifications or answers.
Then
It
why
could
doesn't
be
he
that,
say
it
that?
could be that.
Why does he not say that then?
Why didn't you ask?
He's had 4 years to figure it
I was
out.
not on the board to ask.
And
Trustee Harney, did you not appoint him?
No, I did not, and I did not
Did you not vote
him.
for him?
No, I did not.
I think you did.
No, I did not. The record shows I did not.
Would you
He
please
was-
explain why you think he would be appropriate choice?
I can, yes. So first of all, he saved us $8,000. That's more than anybody else has done. Okay?
How did he do that?
They were not supposed to pay an invoice that was incorrect from FSC, I believe. And nobody questioned it. Nobody cared about it. There was nothing to be done.
No, there was, at the next meeting, it was rescinded. So there.
Oh, it was going to be rescinded. It was not going to be paid in that meeting itself. What I'm saying is there are no checks and balance put in place after that.
An
And
analog
you're wrong
clock
about
is
that.
right twice a day.
What?
A clock is right twice a day. A broken clock is right twice a day.
All right then. Are we
we've
done
had-
with this discussion?
So.
No, we're not.
We've routinely, at this township, had issues where bills were overpaid accidentally. With the give and take of how bills move through the system, that can happen.
Or
That's exactly
paying
what
the
happened
wrong
before.
person's bills, like the
You know,
mental health board
I
bills.
have literally, personally heard Chris Kemp tell people and tell, in a discussion, say that his goal in being on the mental health
Mhm.
board was to rescind the voters' choice.
I think Joe Connell said that too on the radio show that the supervisor was on with him.
And I mean, I can't attest to that, but I personally heard this from Chris Kemp. And I will tell you, as a person who has sat on that board twice now, and that, yeah, he routinely votes against every single grant, which is the reason that I'm not going to vote for him. But the other part of not voting for him is he is profoundly unqualified to sit on that board. He has no mental health credentials, he has no experience, he has no training, he has no ability to evaluate grants. Now, he's very, very good at combing through the accounting part, but we have an accountant for that. And so that is not a necessary function for anyone on the mental health board. Now, he is opposed to that board, the very purpose of it, and its very existence, and he is more than willing to thwart the voters in any way that he can.
And he's made that clear.
Yeah, he's
Crystal
said
clear.
that.
I question the insistence of trying to get him on the board. What, he may have saved $8,000 once. What possible good has he done when he says no and will not even bend? He's absolutely rigid about saying no. I've witnessed this with my own eyes.
So we are approving 2 of your people.
Which was the same thing before too. So we haven't made any
Okay.
changes. I bring more people in, I
No.
swap out places,
See,
names.
We said
Okay.
yes to multiple people that you have put on the table, but
It's a
you
slate, so
keep
it doesn't matter,
bringing
though. It doesn't
one
have to be
that
a
we have
slate.
said no
So
to
break up
every
the
single
slate.
time.
Can we break up the slate,
We
Mr.
can.
Kimsey?
We
We
can vote
can,
on this
but she
individually
won't.
before.
The supervisor could break the slate up, yes.
That's right.
But it's not, and this idea that he's not qualified is not true. Mr. Kimsey has
Explain.
gone over it multiple times in meetings. He's read the law. He qualifies.
Okay.
So we
Okay,
need to stop
legally
lying.
qualified- No, legally
Nobody
qualifying is
says
he
different
doesn't
than ethically
qualify.
qualifying.
Trustee Harney has no degree. She is unqualified. And yet she's leading it. Why don't you guys argue with that?
Because
She's
I'm-
an elected official.
I am the elected official liaison. There's a specific place for me as an elected official.
It was an interim
Maybe
place
Chris
for
should
you,
try to run
but-
for something and actually get elected. He or Joe. And then they can actually have power instead of you just handing it to them.
You can, I would call the question for a vote. So just
All
go.
right.
Well, I would
Okay,
like,
so the
I would
motion-
like you to consider breaking up the slate because, you know, you can still argue for him for that last spot. We need to get the mental health board going now, and
The
If we
community
don't do
needs
it now.
Right, I appoint you, provide advice and consent. Okay, I am compromising, and
think you just don't like
I
being
have
challenged.
said multiple
When?
names, multiple times, and I think this is where we stop. The motion is made by me and, well, seconded by trustee Fiximer? Yeah, trustee Fiximer. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
No.
Trustee Drake? No. Trustee Fitzmer?
Absolutely no.
Trustee Hardy?
No.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion does not carry, and the appointments are not approved.
Well, this is
Hey,
on your
Jared.
head.
What happens with amateurs
This is on your head.
Call me.
On the record,
Okay,
this is what
for
happens when
the
amateurs get elected.
second.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, what happens is on your head.
I'm done. I'm not feeling good. I want to just table the rest of it. I'm not feeling good.
First item on the new business is consideration of the mental health board tax levy transparency. So Elgin Township has done this, and what it does is it actually points out the taxes that mental health board expenses cost each and every resident. And I think that since we ran on transparency, this would be a good thing for us to have, but the clerk's office needs the vote. So I move to request, for the sake of transparency, that the Kane County Treasurer have a separate line item for Community Mental Health Board levy on real estate property tax bill. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, so the motion is made by me and seconded by trustee Harney. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yeah.
Trustee Drake?
No.
Trustee Fitzmer?
I'm going to abstain.
Trustee Hardy?
Yes.
And Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, the motion carries, and the mental health board tax levy transparency is approved and presented, as presented.
Could we have a brief recess?
Yeah, I don't feel good. I got the bathroom.
Right, so we will break for a brief recess.
5 minutes.
For 5 minutes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will call back the meeting to order at 8:10 p.m. now. The next item for new business. Oh, Madam Clerk, roll call, please, sorry.
Trustee Day?
Here.
Could I just have one more thing for discussion here on this?
We gotta get a roll call to see
Oh, okay.
who's here.
Okay, oh, I see.
Trustee Day?
Here.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fitzmer?
Here.
Trustee Hardy?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. Okay.
I wanted to make one last point that I think is important based on the previous discussion. Mr. Kemp's alleged savings of $8,000, which was an accounting error that he caught, which would have been caught, is absolutely dwarfed by the amount of money that the 708 board will be paying back to tax challengers because we have not spent the money that we've collected. And it will also be dwarfed by the legal fees that this township will incur by disputing those tax challenges. So by this continued stubbornness of not giving up Mr. Kemp, you can have any other of the 5 candidates, and now 6, including the most recent one. By not bending on that one person, all of this money's being spent. The tax challenges that you were so concerned about earlier in the year will happen, and they will be successful. And we will also expend tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, in legal fees disputing this. And I think maybe for the next board meeting, I would like to strongly consider that we not dispute the tax challenges if we're going to go on this way, and that we simply turn it over to the state's attorney's office. They will do it for us for free. We will end up paying more back, but that may be...
State's attorneys I think they should be a little more involved in what's going on.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
So that's my suggestion for the next meeting. So with that, I will be quiet.
All right, so that accounting error would not have been caught. There are reasons for that, and you guys should actually talk to Mr. Kemp, because Mr. Kemp said nobody has talked to him. Nevertheless, the next item for new business is consideration of Summit Square Owners Association representation of Dundee Township.
I have something really quick I want to read. I promise it'll be fast. After careful consideration, I have decided to step down from the HOA board. Thank you for entrusting me as your representative. I am stepping down as I am unable to give it the full attention that the board deserves at this time. I want to sincerely thank the other trustees for your support and understanding at this time. While I am stepping away from the HOA board, I remain fully committed to being a great trustee and supporting the community in other ways. I wish the HOA board continued success and appreciate what they do on behalf of this building. That being said, I move that the board approve item 2, Summit Square Owners Association representation of Dundee Township. I further move that the board designate Henry Fixmer as the township's authorized representative for purposes of communications, meetings, notices, and voting, and ordinary administrative matters involving the Summit Square Owners Association to the extent that the township is entitled or required to act as an owner or a member of the association. I further move that the designated representative be authorized to communicate with the association, receive and review association materials, report material issues back to the board, and coordinate with the township council as needed regarding any legal, financial, governance issues affecting the township interest.
I'll second. I'll applaud too.
So the motion is made by trustee Day and seconded by trustee Harney. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes, please.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yeah. Yes.
Trustee Harney?
With great gratitude, yes.
And Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion carries and the appointment is hereby approved as presented. Second appointment. The next item on new business is consideration of bereavement training for cemetery employees. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there a discussion?
Do you want to explain what that's about?
Okay, this was something that I wanted to see in discussions with the cemetery staff. They have shared with me how distressing it is to see families in so much pain. We seem to have, unfortunately, very unfortunately, a number of suicides of younger people in our community, which is absolutely heartbreaking just from my perspective, sitting as far away as I do. Our cemetery staff deals with these terribly traumatized families in a terribly difficult time, and I would like to have them have access to supportive training, to get themselves and to be the best they can be with the families that we have that are grieving in such a difficult situation. So that's what this came out of, and apparently, thanks to our wonderful administrator, this kind of training is available through CANA, which is the Cemetery Association of...
It's Cremation Association of America.
Okay,
It's
the cremation...
one organization that offers resources.
Okay, so there are resources at no expense to the township. The motion here, I will read. I move that the board approve item 3, bereavement, grief response, and customer service training for cemetery employees who interact with families, funeral homes, members of the public, or others involved in cemetery operations. I further move that the interim administrator and cemetery staff be authorized to identify appropriate training options, schedule participation, and return to the board for approval of any expenditure if required by township policy or by budgetary authority.
Oh, I'll second.
Is there?
I think we have the same motion on the floor, didn't I?
I was going to say, who motioned and who seconded originally?
Oh, it was, yeah.
Do you consent to the amended motion as read by trustee Harney?
Yes.
And who seconded?
I think
No, she
Was it you?
motioned.
I motioned.
Oh,
and-
well, she's amending her own motion. That
Okay.
we
Yeah,
can
she
certainly
amended her own.
allowed to do that as long as
Okay.
trustee Drake.
We have no memory of what happened 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, I
so,
don't.
yeah.
My only question would be on the financial piece of it. Is there any idea what the estimated cost would be, just in case we need authorization for that?
No, I mean, it's a wide range of, depending on what kind of training. There's classes that are 13 weeks and there are, classes that, consist of videos that, so it's
Is there
something we need to explore.
Okay. Obviously, you want to do like an up to amount? If there's like a...
Well, they have to come back to the board for any expenditure.
That's fine.
And so what I'm thinking of,
Makes sense.
you all can figure this out amongst yourselves and come back. And I think as a courtesy, we should be also presenting this to the cemetery board, not so much for their approval as just for their knowledge that we move forward, and asking for their input if they would like to. We would appreciate their input as well.
Yeah, I would like to be able to see different options.
Yeah, you guys work on it and bring it back and make it happen.
Oh, roll call?
Yep, roll call.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
I'll abstain. The motion carries and is approved as presented. The next item of new business is consideration of township administrative and operational recommendations. Is there a motion?
I'll motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is made by trustee Day and seconded by trustee Fixmer. Is there a discussion? Okay, madam.
If I may, I said I would like to lead the discussion
Yeah.
unless trustee, if you're going to...
No, I would like you to lead it. I defer, absolutely.
So I have just some bullet points here on this, and it's certainly nothing that I say means much of anything other than a recommendation. So the background on this has to do with both recent and ongoing events certainly since I've been involved in the township since 2021 that have highlighted, I think, what I would call a broader need for institutional review of governance authority issues, operational responsibilities, the entire structure of the organization, employee management, controls, policies, and legal compliance. I think at the last meeting, Trustee Harney talked about the legal bills, and I'm the number one person to say that the legal bills are too high, and they shouldn't be that high. And I think there needs to be a structured approach to kind of try to mitigate some of that risk. So this proposed administrative and operational review action plan would establish a long runway for the board, approximately 18 months or so, a process that's run by the board, and to look at its structure, its policies, the employment practices, its records practices, financial procedures, and shared services, really among the different component parts of the township itself. The objective would be to replace kind of the informal, I should say, or kind of customs and practices, right? This is the way we've always done things, with written and consistent and professionally administered systems, right? I think the idea is other townships do it. Other townships do it well. I think there's some inherent problems with the way townships are structured, given the different, the assessor gives me the evil eye. No, there's different elected officials who have different power, and their relationship to the board is an amalgamation, right, of a bunch of different legislatures who have made laws, and it's complicated by the fact that they're elected all at one time as a slate, right? So there's no consistency, there's no turnover, there's a full turnover sometimes. But despite those challenges, right, it can be done, and there's organizations out there who do it and do it very well. So the plan would be to proceed, as I said, in kind of a measured way to prioritize things that are very high risk, and control the ultimate goal to as a risk management measure to control unnecessary legal costs going forward. Right, it's kind of a mitigation issue. So this is not the plan isn't to predetermine anything. It's just to kind of get the board to take a step-by-step approach and kind of reporting out a little bit at each board meeting on their status on kind of 7 areas, and I'll talk about what those areas are, and to move slowly and make sure, and to review both, I'm sure talking, I'm here anyway, so get your money's worth to talk about what the law says, and you can bring in other folks to talk about it, or you can bring in ideas and talk about different structures, and then when there would be an action item for a policy update or what have you, they would come in and there would be that would be put on the agenda and notice just like anything else, right? So it's not this is going to be going on behind closed doors, and there's going to be a whole new set of rules or something that's put into place and no one knows. So the idea is to kind of put it out there and go through some of these issues in a systematic way. And frankly, it's a lot of work, right? And I'm sure that I would be, my associates would be happy to do it all, and we'd be happy to take the money, but that's not the idea, and there's really no ownership in that, right? So someone does have to take ownership of it. I think, I would say that probably the person who makes the most sense would be the interim administrator. And I think there can be, she looks at me with, but I think more in a coordination role, right? And this isn't, again, it's not something to make a bunch of work all at once for someone. It's a structured process that we've laid out. So the seven, right, phased. Thank you, trustee. The 7 kind of, phases or work streams would be broad level, right? So the the Freedom of Information Act requires that every public body post like an organizational chart, right? Like a graphic depiction of its divisions. So to start there, the organization chart and reporting lines from the organization chart, and then to go through, and I think we have our policy roadmap handout up there, which is kind of the key essential policies that are either required by law or that we strongly recommend that you have. There's a bunch of other ones. This is, again, these are posting requirements, right? And so one of the ones that I just talked about is up there, that you have to have the org chart posted. So to go through, and it's not only those sorts of policies necessarily either, it's policies that would govern permitting, right? For, we talked about a couple meetings ago for the condo association coming in here, right, and using this space, right? So there's First Amendment issues when someone wants to use township space. There's policies that have been put together for other organizations. So it's not reinventing the wheel, it's just putting things in place and getting an organized structure for those in the, come on, Tom. I'm giving you grief. So after policy updates, go to employment practices. And I think the employee handbook, the personnel handbook hasn't been updated substantially since 2021. For those of you who deal in HR, I think you know that that's basically an eternity for that. So, and when it was updated then, I don't think it was updated very much. And then records, right? Records compliance issues, working with the local records commission, which I believe the administrator's already kicked some of that into gear. And then fiscal administration, and then I think the last part would be shared services and cooperation. With that being, there's townships and with their separate elected officials and their separate domains and their separate and related committees and boards like the mental health board, things like that, where it makes sense for everybody to take the approach of one township, right, instead of separate. And there's an administrative staff and there's overlap and there's policies and things like that that can all be used instead of having everybody walk in their own direction. So just to consider some of those things internally and then externally as well with other governments in the area. Lots of ums, and I apologize for that. These are long bullet points. I'm trying to make them short. And so I think other things that would be included, that would be technology issues, data governance issues, electronic records issues, along with like accessibility issues, insurance and risk management. So CORMA could come out, they could present, they could talk about their different programs and things like that. And then I think probably at the end would be like an implementation sort of training phase, but also to talk about strategic planning. Right, and get into getting a strategic plan for the township to follow as kind of a permanent guide for future action. But again, this would just be that general process, and I think there would be essentially a little bit a short report at least at each board meeting. When things are ripe, there would be a smaller presentation or longer report, and as I said, things that were to be acted on would come up before the board on the agenda. So with that, I'll shut up. Or answer questions if you would like me to.
Yeah, I would like to ask you a question. Was the interim administrator involved in this process?
No, I appointed her by myself.
Okay.
I just think the idea is having a full-time staff member who can organize and coordinate the oversight of the work.
So who else was involved in that?
In this?
Yeah.
My office.
Just that's it?
That's it.
Okay. And we're voting on this right now?
You're not voting on anything other than establishing this 18-month review process.
And it's done by the interim?
Well, it's on a day-to-day basis, right? But it's done by the board, it's board government. Anything that requires action will come up before the board.
Yeah, but the board wasn't involved in, preparing
My
of
office
this?
put this is a handout we give. You're not voting on this.
okay.
These policy roadmaps, these things are that we hand out and we say, hey, you should do this. There's no decisions being made on any of the things that I talked about right now. The idea is to study them and make the decisions.
Okay. All right, then are we voting on this though?
On the overall plan.
The plan?
On doing
Right,
this.
not any specific action.
Okay. All right, so the motion is made by? Nobody
You're
yet?
asking the wrong guy.
All right, is there a motion?
I believe there is a motion.
Yeah, it was made by trustee Dave and seconded by Fixmer.
Okay.
What was the motion again? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I believe there's a motion at the end of the memo.
I can
Oh,
read it
that's okay.
again.
Told me this.
New
No, we have-
business,
It's at the end of this memo. It's a little bit lengthier than I think what you had.
Here is the memo.
You had just, is there a motion?
yeah,
So we got it.
should it not be that?
I got it.
This is the one.
I'm sorry, I know we
No,
looked
no,
at this
here.
before and I can't find it.
How about this?
I know I saw this.
It's almost like we could have done this during the recess. I got it. I'll read it and then we can.
Okay.
So I would propose a motion to amend the motion to just be more specific, consistent with what I had said. And it would be to approve the Dundee Township Administrative and Operational Action Plan as presented by me, and to direct the interim administrator to implement the plan according to the parameters as stated and subject to final board vote and attorney review on action items.
I am happy to make that motion.
Well, whoever made it has to amend it, right?
So that would
And I
be-
believe that's me,
Okay.
so I approve the amendment.
And the second was?
Henry,
Henry,
do you approve?
Yeah, I just want to make sure Katie understands what,
That's a good question.
what is being asked of her.
Oh, I 100% understand it.
Okay,
I've done it.
okay,
Thank you.
and I approve.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harn?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Absolutely not. Not interim. But, okay, so the motion carries and is approved as presented.
I think we know why she likes Chris.
The next item on new business is consideration of approval to proceed with the Dixie Briggs from Nature Preserve Prairie Restoration Project, Phase 2, 4 acres, Year 2, 2027, and authorization to solicit proposals for herbicide application services from qualified contractors and not to exceed $10,040. Project work is fully funded through secured grants. Is there a motion?
A motion.
Second? Okay, the motion is made by trustee Day and seconded by trustee Drake. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
I think we should at least read this.
You can do that, but I'm just saying that motion is specific enough, so you don't have to read your motion.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But if you
I'm
want to
just-
explain it.
I wanted to do the project summary. So this is, for the public, this has been an ongoing process for maybe almost a year, if not more. And we've got a couple of people in the back who are been intimately involved with this. Kirby has looked at it. The grants were secured by FD&A, and I want to give a shout out to Sue Bennett and to mostly Sue Bennett, but June Keebler as well, for getting us this far. The proposed project provides for the second year of targeted herbicide treatments on approximately 4.18 acres at Dixie Briggs From Nature Preserve, following Phase 2 mechanical clearing completed during the winter of 2026. So the mechanical clearing will be a machine going in there and mechanically removing the brush and the invasive species. The purpose of this work is to control invasive woody resprouts and competitive herbaceous vegetation that emerge after clearing, allowing native prairie grasses and wildflowers to establish and restoring the site's prairie structure. The mechanical clearing will be done this winter. And that is necessary because the vegetation is so dense that it is much more efficient to use a machine to do it. And thanks to FD&A, we have a good provider. And again, this has all been paid for with grants that are already secured, so there are no township expenditures to do this. The treatments, which is an additional thing besides the mechanical clearing, are herbiciding, and they will follow the clearing probably next spring. Treatments will target invasive woody species, including autumn olive, bush honeysuckle, buckthorn, oriental bittersweet, and box elder, as well as invasive and highly competitive herbaceous species such as Canada thistle, bull thistle, tall goldenrod, and pokeweed. Herbicide applications will be performed using selective targeted methods to minimize impacts to desirable native vegetation. The follow-up treatment represents a critical phase of the restoration process. Without continued invasive species control, woody resprouts and invasive seed banks can quickly reestablish, reducing the effectiveness of the mechanical clearing investment and limiting successful prairie restoration. The project advances the township's long-term goal of restoring and maintaining high-quality native habitat while protecting the ecological integrity of the Dixie Briggs Farm Nature Preserve. We do these kinds of things because the species that we are trying to foster are species that put deep roots down into the ground. They pull carbon from the air. They pull water into the soil. And then that water goes to the soil and is purified and then eventually makes its way to the Fox River, which is our water supply for this area. We are putting oxygen into the atmosphere, and we are supporting a vast insect population out of here, which, again, if you don't like bugs, that may not please you very much. But if you like food, you should be really happy, because insects are the pollinators for most of our food supply. And so I have worked with FD&A on this. I totally support this project. And I want to express profound gratitude to Sue Bennett and to FD&A and to June Keebler and for Kirby also, and probably for Steve Keebler and for everybody that's involved for all of the hours and hours and hours, and I do mean hours of work that's gone into looking at the site, figuring out what the best thing is to do, and putting this all together. And with that, I will be quiet. Yes, Kirby?
I just want to clarify, the mechanical clearing has been done. This is just follow-up work that's needed after the initial clearance.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, the motion carries and is approved as presented. Okay, the next item of new business is consideration of approval to proceed with Jelky Creek Bird Sanctuary Invasive Species Control Project and authorization to solicit proposals for herbicide application services from qualified contractors not to exceed $25,000. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is made by Trustee Fixmer and seconded by Trustee Day. Is there a discussion?
Yes, I want to read, it's kind of similar. The proposed project provides for targeted herbicide treatments with approximately 126.6 acres of prairie, wetland, and pond habitats at Jelky Creek Bird Sanctuary, encompassing management units 3, 4, and 5. The purpose of this work is to control invasive herbaceous plant species, reduce invasive seed production, and support the continued restoration and long-term management of these native natural communities. Treatments will target aggressive invasive species. This list is a little different from the other one. This includes Canada thistle, bull thistle, tall goldenrod, common reed, reed canary grass, leafy spurge, crown vetch, bird's foot trefoil, purple loosestrife, and wild parsnip. Herbicide applications will be performed using selective, targeted methods to minimize impacts to desirable native vegetation. No woody invasive species or treatments are included in this project. The site is actively managed through annual prescribed burns and ongoing restoration activities. Existing gravel paths provide efficient access to treatment areas, while the site's wetlands, ponds, and bioswales require careful management to protect sensitive native habitats. Continued invasive species control is essential to prevent aggressive non-native plants from outcompeting native vegetation and degrading restored habitats. This project supports the township's long-term stewardship goals by maintaining and enhancing the ecological quality of Jelke Creek Bird Sanctuary while protecting prior restoration investments. Should I have said that part too?
Yes, you should.
Oh, sorry. I was supposed to say at the beginning, consideration of approval to proceed with the Jelke Creek Bird Sanctuary Invasive Species Control Project and authorization to solicit proposals for herbicide application services from qualified contractors not to exceed $25,000.
So just to be clear, this will come back to the township board when contractors and contracts are going to be signed and everything. This just tells FD&A that the township is behind their efforts to go out and behind Kirby's efforts to go out and solicit the proposals. Or the board's behind it.
So do we have the motion?
Yeah.
Second.
Yep, together.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, the motion carries and is approved as presented. The next item on the new business is consideration of approval of cemetery purchase of replacement electric vehicle. Is there a motion?
I'll motion.
Is there a second?
Second. Go ahead, Jordy, you got it.
Okay, the motion is made by Trustee Day and seconded by Trustee Drake. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Just real quick, I think we do have a discussion. We do have a discussion on this because there's specific dollar amounts and there's a quote.
Oh, yeah.
7,000. Not to exceed.
There's two quotes.
I think it's 7,000, I think it's a, yeah, this one, can I see?
Here.
Thank you. It is it would be approve, the proposal
I can
dated,
further qualify those two quotes if you need assistance.
well, I think I got it, let me try one time first, Director. So I think it would be a gray W3 golf cart from Cart Nation, one, and the unit price would be $7,898. With $350 cash on delivery, is that right?
Is that for delivery?
And then shipping on the bottom of the 350 on the bottom. Just like
Oh, okay,
terms and conditions.
got it. Got it.
So do you want me to say?
So 350
Not to exceed.
Yeah, well, I think it's gonna exceed. So it would be to approval of the golf cart, per the Cart Nation quote, not to exceed $8,000 and $350.
$8,500?
Well, I say, and $350 for shipping.
Yeah.
And then there's a second quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second quote is just another option. And I think I talked to the director beforehand and he said that he would not want, he wants the first one.
You prefer the first one?
Yes, so we are
From
seeking
Carnation.
board approval, and they presented for us to present to you these options not to exceed more than $10,000, but the two, what they requested was the gray color in lieu of the black, and then the Carnation quote you guys see in front of you would be the 2-year cart warranty and a 5-year battery warranty, as opposed to the R Equipment Co. LLC, which only has a 60-day warranty.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
So the difference in both pricing of the quotes with the selected additional color that our board addressed and selected, and that warranty is the difference of $603, which I think is very worth it for the extended amount of that warranty for batteries and the cart as well.
Definitely.
So we'll get the consent.
Which would be a total of $8,248.
So if we get the consent of trustees Day and Drake to amend the motion, unless there's any further discussion, we would call the question, Supervisor.
Okay, so it would be consideration of approval of cemetery purchase of replacement electric vehicle amended to?
Yeah.
To what?
To, in the amount from, consistent with the proposal from Cart Nation, with the warranty and terms presented, not to exceed, $8,000, with $350 for shipping.
It's
8248.
You say 8,000.
Well, that's the full math. I said plus the 350
Oh,
because I
plus
didn't
the-
want to do that.
Sorry.
I didn't want to
Right,
do
so
the math.
$8,000, not to exceed $8,000, plus the 350, what is that?
Delivery.
Delivery, okay. All right, so is there a motion?
The same.
Yeah, I motioned.
Oh,
Three.
for the amended, sorry.
They
Yeah.
consented,
approve
they
these.
consented.
So-
Just clarify for the clerk.
We're-
Call the question.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Griesemer?
Yes.
Trustee Marnie?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, the motion that was amended carries as approved, is approved as presented. The next item of new business is consideration of $1,000 contribution support for senior program at the Park District. I move to approve the $1,000 contribution for senior program. Is there a second?
Second for discussion.
Okay, the motion is made by me and seconded by Trustee Fiximer. Is there a discussion?
Yes. Who wants to start? Go ahead.
I'd like to know where this plan is.
At the Park District?
No, like, what is your thought process?
Well-
Because we have nothing in front of us.
We've brought this up several times where we took a survey. They wanted line dancing, okay?
Oh, okay, so that's-
So
then we're
we
back to
will,
line.
we have 1,000, so we will approach Park District stating that, the senior center, that we have $1,000 and we would like to do, a class for them. And we would like it to extend for 1 year with the $1,000. So the class
you're paying the park district or you're paying the people to use the park district?
No, they're already there. There's already a senior center with programs.
Yes, but are you giving the park district $1,000?
Well, yeah, well, Park District will in turn hire the instructor, and
There's
that's what
already
they
an
will pay.
instructor that does
No,
line
not for
dancing.
no,
There
not
is
for
a-
this curated for seniors, it isn't there. That part is for 12 years and plus, okay? It's not curated for seniors.
So, I mean, it's a kind idea, but I would honestly rather see that $1,000 go to this, like
Food
donate it
pantry?
to the food pantry.
Yeah.
Because there's so much food insecurity right now that I think seniors are more worried about getting, you know,
Food on the table?
food and medications and everything, that, you know, the seniors we're offering to help because maybe they don't have the income and whatever. I think that we should address the food insecurity first.
So that portion is already taken care of by the foundation downstairs. They actually
can
have a
add to
senior
it.
program. This is what they want. They're lonely, they
How
want
many people were
friendship.
part of your survey?
They want, it was already presented, you can watch
No,
the
no,
last
I
meeting.
watched it. You never gave us a
So,
number. You were at us, you said there was
They
like-
are lonely, we just want to be able to give them what they've asked for, it's $1,000. I mean, we're spending money left and right for a lot of other things. $1,000 for seniors, and I think this would be the 6th time I'm asking for it. Like, seniors are literally, I have had a wellness call where somebody was dead for 2 days.
And country line dancing, and he's gonna fix that? I'm not comprehending, and
I guess-
I've never seen this survey that you conducted, nor did you come to the board.
It's
with-
Toaster Fiximer.
I was
Have you
listening
seen the
to
survey?
Trustee Drake.
I mean, I've asked this several times, never seen the survey. So can we see the survey?
Even if we can see the survey, this money, I assume, would come out of general assistance, out of the funds for general assistance. Is that what we're talking about?
It's town fund, right,
Out of
Mr.
town
Kinsey, or
fund.
is it gonna be can we do it from general
I think
assistance?
it could be either.
Okay.
It could be either.
Yeah, then we'll do it from GA.
Well, you have to have, you can't just do that from GA without the board's permission there. We have to
Correct,
expand.
that's correct.
Yeah, we have to, the board would have to expand your authority to spend GA.
That's why it's
which-
here for question.
Right, and so I would not be in favor of that. The other thing that I think of is, we have significant issues right now. I'm sure that there are seniors who responded to that survey that would like line dancing and they're lonely. I think that there are far greater needs, and I think that we should be looking at those needs at this point. One of the things that really concerns me is we have more homeless people in this township. And one of the things that you could do, Supervisor, without any cost to the township, is to allow homeless people to use the township address as an address for the purposes of accessing help, like with pads and with other areas. So that would be something that would be an immediate service to not only the residents of the township, but most especially people who are homeless. I think there is a great need for transportation. That's been something with the mental health board that we've seen over and over again, is that every organization talks about how difficult it is to get their clients to treatment, because many of them either can't for whatever reason drive. They depend on public transportation, which is sketchy to say the least in this area. And of course, Ms. Cotter, detailed the tragedy of people who can't even get the most basic forms of treatment. It just seems almost obscene to me that we will not provide that, and yet we talk about providing essentially dancing lessons for a small group of our people.
Trustee Harney, this is more a companionship, okay? These
offer
seniors do
many
not have a lot of support. They've lost everybody in their lifetime.
Have you ever programs they already have though?
They have a huge program at the Park District.
I take my father-in-law
They do,
there all
and
the
they
time.
keep requesting this. Maybe you should go there and talk to them. Why is it they keep
Why
requesting
don't they
this?
come here and talk to us?
The seniors?
Well, no, the Park District.
They've got
If
a
they're
20
This is the
requesting
seniors
it.
requesting, not the Park District.
Okay, but they have a fund of $20 million.
That's their annual income.
But we
Annually.
can't tell them how to run their show like the way they can't
But
tell us.
if the seniors are asking for it, they should be asking them,
Yeah.
Maybe they have,
okay?
but
So
that's not
they have
something
$20
we are
million
at liberty
they could
to
do.
judge.
We're not at liberty to tell the Park District that they need to hire somebody to do line dancing.
We are, because they've already told us, if we provide the funds, they will do it.
Where's this?
They've already
I-
allocated their monies to the
I
programs
would
they
like
already
to
have.
meet somebody from the Park District if they come here at the meeting and explain that.
Their meeting is the same time as ours. They will
Right
never
now,
be able to
today?
come here.
Right now, their meeting is going on right now? All right,
At
let's
least
vote, let's
something in
just do a
writing.
roll call on it.
At least something in writing.
All right, is there a second?
There's a,
All right, sorry. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Diggs?
No.
Trustee Drake?
No.
Trustee Fixmer?
No.
Trustee Harney?
No.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, the motion is denied. The final item of new business is consideration of condominium association improvements and special assessment. Trustee Day, would you like to provide a report?
Yes, so provided to you guys because I'm on top of things. The HOA is working on purchasing their own cameras and surveillance for the building. They will need their own internet, Wi-Fi, to connect, which isn't already installed. Each tenant currently occupies their own internet services. Internet can range from $50 to $60 a month. Lower if Londi can find a better option. I'd like Henry to go vote on this internet option. How do I do this? Do I do each one separately or?
you can do them all together.
Okay. Surveillance needs to be installed. Londi and Steve are working hard to find options that range from 3K to 8K for installation. They are looking further at the 3K than the 8K option. All new wires, server box will be installed, and again, that's why they need the Wi-Fi. Lifeline plumbing was out for the men's bathrooms upstairs. The Sloan valve replacement was fixed. However, there's several other valves that need replacement as well. This building is very old. Those valves are very old. It's the cold water shutoff valve, which will cost $1,460, and the Wayne shutoff valve that is $2,675. And then finally, the Slowstein on Howard. They want to put a blinking slow sign on the entrance of Howard right here and into the building. They suggested flashing so that it's reflective and people see it. It ranges from $131 to $600. Londi, of course, wanted the more expensive one because it lasts longer. However, the $131 one is aluminum and solar-powered reflective film. I believe that it could last quite some time.
And East Dundee is okay with this?
Yes, she has already spoken to the Department of Police, Sorry, this is distracting me. But the worry that Charity brought up earlier to me,
There's a house
just
right
me,
there.
is that there's a house right across the street. The blinking might get really
And like their,
annoying.
their living room window faces that, and then
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
house right next door. They have like a new baby, I think, at that house, right? Or
He's 3.
is he really? Well, ish baby.
Yeah.
But there's like a youngish one next door.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that, but that's a
Yeah,
good
the blinking
point.
in
Yeah.
our we're it's
So,
a little inconvenience.
Maybe we could do a slow sign without the blinking. It's something that you would have to bring up on the board, or just vote down the blinking one if need be. Thank you again for taking over this. I typed this up during work hours, don't tell my boss.
Don't say that publicly.
It's on record now.
Oh, it's okay.
Good job.
But, so how do we vote now on,
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody ever present to the association that there are cameras that?
yeah, they're not interested in it because it's a, agreement between township and HOA that they don't want to sign.
So they want to spend, because all that stuff is in here.
Yeah, they'd rather just purchase their own.
We were going to give it to them.
But they don't want the agreement part.
Remind me what the agreement that they don't like. It's about using.
It's the license agreement for them to use the community room for the HOA meetings in exchange for all of the surveillance equipment. And they don't want to spend money to pay for a legal review of that document. And that's where we are.
Yeah,
So they will spend money on
They
this.
could literally sign the agreement, never use this room, and get a free camera system,
Yeah.
and not have to spend any money.
Uh-huh.
Take care of that, Henry.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not.
I can't support that. I absolutely cannot
care of that,
support
Henry. On
the
with
surveillance
this.
system. They can,
It's almost mine.
you know.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
Yeah,
Let
but
'em-
I'm
that's a good
I'm
point.
fine with, well, I don't know about the internet thing, but the surveillance system, no way. If they get a free one, and the other owners aren't going to like that either, I don't think.
Well, the other owners aren't willing to sign the contract either.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
But we
our
can still vote.
Well, they don't
no,
have to
is it?
ever, they don't have to ever use the room. They
Maybe
can
our
say, oh,
reputation is
we'll
getting
have
around.
a license to use the room, and they never have to sign, they never have to use the room.
I just, there was so much going on at that meeting. The foundation's not willing to sign it. The, oh my gosh, the other places downstairs aren't willing to sign it. At this point, they're willing to go with the cheapest option. They're willing to bring all of this in-house and install it in-house by using somebody who is qualified to do it, but not an actual company. His name is Bob. I don't know. You'll meet all of these people.
They got a guy.
They got a guy.
They got a guy.
So, if I can, and I don't mean to cut you off, trustee, but what I would propose would be, I mean, the taking of that equipment was never tethered, inherently for any reason to the license agreement to use this room. So I think they're separate issues, and we can make them separate issues. I mean, I think they should take it. We want them to take it. They should take it, but I mean, I think that they're gonna have a contractor or something come in here and take it. I think the contractor should make, just like they're gonna do for the association, make sure that the township is listed on, their insurance and whatever because they're gonna be on our property. But I think that would be, it seems ludicrous that they're tying it to they just don't want it? Well, they don't, it would be a different,
It's the
Okay, it would be-
agreement part altogether that they don't want to sign.
well, okay.
Because they don't have legal counsel like we do, you wonderful person.
So
They do have
essentially, they're willing to spend between 3,000 and 8,000, probably closer to 3, except that'll climb a bit, it always does, in order to avoid getting an attorney's opinion about the license agreement.
Maybe they
That's
just
what I
don't want
caught
our
out of it,
cameras.
right?
Yeah, they're gonna sign an agreement with that company without having the attorney review it, but,
No, they're not using a company.
Bob's doing it,
well,
guys.
Bob, where's he gonna buy the equipment from? He's gonna have to sign a
Probably Home
contract to do
Depot.
that. You sign a contract at Home Depot? Yeah.
Come on,
I
man.
don't know.
I'm just giving you
move
grief.
on.
Yeah, I think, yeah, well, you can vote no, they're gonna probably vote yes anyway.
Okay, so-
And they have a majority, but so, if, to be clear, what's the vote? Gonna be
We
on?
would better separate this stuff.
Well, so, I mean, is there a consensus from the board on what you wanna vote on and what's out, what's in?
I don't want to pay for the surveillance equipment since it would be far cheaper for them to hire an attorney to review the thing, the license agreement. Would it take an hour even, Mark, do you think?
No.
Okay, so you're talking maybe $200 or $300 to
Can
have an
we
attorney review
break
it.
all these up and just do a roll call vote on each?
Yeah, that's what I think.
You could do that?
Okay.
I was gonna say, I'll let you do that since you volunteered, trustee Day.
What am I doing?
Breaking it up and making, so I would say a motion to
Okay, so
approve each
I'd
individual
like
item
to
with the financial.
make a motion to approve internet not exceeding 50 to, well, I gotta say 60 a month or lower if Landy can find a better option.
I'll second, if that's a motion, I'll second that.
Okay. And then can we get a roll call vote?
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve surveillance, not using our server or wires, to not exceed 3K for installation. Can I get a roll call? Oh, a second.
Second.
And now a roll call.
Just to be clear, hold on quickly, it's 3K for installation, wires and server box, so hardware too?
No, he's not charging for installation,
Okay,
so
all right.
that 3K is
Well,
all the,
All in, I just don't want him to say, well, there's approved some other amount on top of that, so it's all in 3K.
yeah,
Trustee Day?
yes.
Trustee Drake? Yes.
For cameras.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
No.
And Supervisor Shaw?
No.
Still
Trustee Harney,
passes
we
with
agree
3
on
to 2.
something.
Huh?
What is it?
I was just telling her we agree on something,
Okay.
Trustee Harden.
Nobody cares. Water valves. Lifeline Plumbing was out to fix the men's bathroom. The 2 other valves need to be replaced. No more than, oh man, I didn't do the math on this.
Is Lifeline the only place that we ever use? Do we not get bids anywhere else?
That's just who they called for the emergency valve that needed to be replaced. These are just quotes.
4250.
4,500, isn't it?
I
400,
think it's
400?
4250 or something like
Yeah,
that, but
okay, I would
just
say.
did the
I would trust your fast math more than mine.
40, I'd say
Not to exceed, what, $4,135.
Why don't you make it 4,250?
Not to exceed 4,250 or something
Yeah,
like that.
4,250.
Okay. Can we get a second?
Second.
And then a roll call.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes.
And then the slow sign, let's go ahead and change it to non-flashing. No. Okay. Not to exceed 200? Because tax and shipping?
That's enough.
Second?
Second.
Sorry. You can make it bigger too.
And then a roll call.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
This is for the non-blinking.
Get nothing.
Yes.
Slow sign. Oh, we did it, guys.
All right, so the motion carries as amended?
Yeah, I would say they all carry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the motion's carried as presented.
Motion carries as presented. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is executive session. Is there a reason to adjourn to executive session?
Yes.
Okay.
I
All
move
right.
that the board adjourn to executive session pursuant to section 2C, 1 of the Open Meetings Act in order to consider the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employees of the township. And Section 2C11 of the Act in order to consider litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the township has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the township finds that an action is probable or imminent.
Is there a second?
Is there a
Second.
All right, so the motion is made by trustee Harney and seconded by trustee Fiximer. Is there a discussion?
No discussion.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day?
Yeah.
Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes.
Welcome back. I, Clerk Clark, call this meeting back to order at 9:39 PM. I'm going to take a roll call. Trustee Day?
Here.
Trustee Drake?
Here.
Trustee Fixmer?
Here.
Trustee Harney?
Here.
Supervisor Shaw? Absent.
Is there anything else that the board wants
So
to
we would do,
discuss?
I'm sorry, a motion to appoint a chairman pro tem.
So moved. I move that we
Second.
appoint trustee Drake as chairman pro tem.
Is there a second?
Second.
No discussion, get a roll call?
So accepted. So accepted.
Trustee Day?
Yes.
Trustee Drake?
Abstain.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
She would say no anyhow.
So is there any other
Is
business?
there any other business that the board would like to discuss at this moment?
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay, Madam Clerk, may we take a roll call to exit out of,
Get a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
Do I get a second? Fixamer with a second. So, what's it?
All in favor?
All in
No.
favor?
Now we have to call for the
Okay,
vote.
all in favor?
All
we
in
call
favor?
Aye.
Call
Aye.
aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, be quiet, and we're out of here.
Peace out.
Nice job.
Meeting is adjourned.
At 9:41 PM.
Peace out, that's the official.